Hey, my name is Rob English. I'm 36 years old. I have two kids, a ton of family obligations, and I run two businesses, all of which keeps me incredibly busy. And I'm also a client of Edge Rowing. Now, I rowed for a year in college. And when I left rowing, I felt like I had a ton of unfinished business to do. I had a bunch of goals that I wanted to hit, certain numbers on the erg for 2K, 6K, steady state numbers, all of these things that I just pushed to the wayside to become basically obsessed with my career, start a family, all these other obligations that then popped up. And I felt like I let go of this piece of me as I reflected back and really wanted to get back into things and didn't really know how to. I'd always stayed active after college. I'd always had unfinished business to attend to with rowing. I didn't see an entry point that could fit with my lifestyle, with how busy I was, with my travel schedule, with work, all these competing family obligations. None of it really made sense. I always felt like that part of me had kind of died after college. And when I started to watch Jack's videos at Edge Rowing on YouTube, I thought to myself, oh, this is kind of interesting. This guy, he clearly has had experience on the GB team. He's competed with some of the top athletes in the world, but he's also accessible. I booked a call with him and we had a conversation and I figured, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. And I'm so glad that I did. I don't really have much more to say than that. I feel like, I came in with certain expectations that this program was maybe just going to be me receiving the same barely customized program for working out. I would have some sort of like 80-20 split for steady state and then high intensity work. It would be built loosely around my schedule, but it would still mainly look like other programs that I had interest in trying. And instead, what ended up happening was that Jack set me up with one of his coaches, who also happened to be a former GB member with incredible erg scores and an incredible resume for rowing. I got to personally connect with this person. I had calls with them all the time. I would text them on the regular. They would do form reviews for me on the erg. All of these things that were so impactful that I saw immediate ROI from. So I'm talking like instantly knocking off 2 seconds on a split for steady state for a 120-minute piece just because of a form change at the finish. Little things like that started to have a big impact on my high intensity interval pieces and inevitably some of the numbers that I pulled for erg tests. Now, my work with Edge is not done. It's just getting started. I've been a client for a little under a year now. I plan on continuing for the foreseeable future. What has been so surprising to me has been the hyper personalization of the program itself. So not only did it find a way to fit a pretty loaded training program into my very busy work schedule with all these obligations that were competing, but on top of that, it found a way to levy improvements that I had never seen when training on my own. I had neglected things like weight training. I thought that it wouldn't do much for me. I was always more of an anaerobic athlete anyway. It wasn't power that I lacked. It was always the steady state stuff that I felt slow at. Turns out a lot of the weight training that I now do, which is totally different from the weight training I was doing as a self-trained athlete, is really amplifying my steady state numbers. It's really amplifying my erg performances. And there's evidence to support that, and Jack's team knows about it, and they explain it to me because I love to live in the details. In addition to that, the fluctuations of the program where you have these like really intense weeks that then you get to recover from. And then you track these improvements over time, and you have these outlier performances, which then get fed back into this data tracking software, which allow you to answer questions like, why did I have that outlier performance? All of that stuff is controlled for with their group. It's super meaningful. I can't recommend them enough. And as I've gotten closer and closer to some of my major goals, like breaking 6 minutes for a 2K, I'm just thrilled to stay with the program, to keep working with my coach and be a part of Jack's team, support him, support Edge Rowing. For people on the fence about this program, I don't want to speak for you. For myself, I debated whether or not I should join, but inevitably I figured it was worth the trial, and now I'm most likely going to be a customer for life. So that's where I sit with things. Once again, thank you, Edge. Thank you, Jack, for everything you guys do. Super excited to stay on this journey with you. Oh, and one more thing. I hurt my back pretty badly right before joining. In fact, I've had a repeat injury on my lower back, my L5S1. It's really crippled a lot of my individual training. And Jack's team has been able to customize a program to allow me to build a base without agitating that and really dial in a specific protocol where I can handle the erg for certain numbers of sessions per week and certain types of workouts. And it's really allowed me to continue to improve even in the absence of having a perfect back. So working through injuries, having people to speak with who've done it themselves, having access to people who are world-class rowers, I mean, that's just what I look for in a program. So you could be looking for something else. That's what I look for. Super happy about the decision. Looking forward to working for them or working with them for the years to come. Okay, that's everything. Thank you.